Welcome, Paco, to the Larpar Show, where we talk about what is money, what is coming, and how to protect our family. Paco is a Bitcoiner and a vlogger who has been traveling around the world. He currently crowdfunded a 41 country journey using Bitcoin. We met recently at Bitcoin Atlantis in Madeira, and he's here to share his story. So, Paco, welcome, and tell us, how did you discover Bitcoin, and how has the
Hi,
journey been so far?
hi Lawrence. Thank you so much for having me. It was nice to see you with family in Madeira, and which was a nice conference. So anybody who's listening to this, please drop down to Madeira for the next one. I'm great, man. I am in India as of now, and yeah, it's 11. It's almost 12 a.m. So yeah, the journey has been great. I'm really thankful to the entire Bitcoin community, which really proved that proof of work matters, which really proved that yes, Bitcoin is money. The journey's purpose was to find whether Bitcoin is money or not. So I had to use it as money. So that's like peer-to-peer cash transactions. And funny enough, I was able to use it in 40 countries. And one country that I couldn't use it was Haiti. And as you know, what's happening in Haiti, so for obvious reasons. Apparently today, just digressing off, but there was a YouTuber who just got kidnapped in Haiti. So it's really crazy down there. Yeah, man.
Okay, interesting. Did he find him? Is he
Yeah, man.
back?
So that guy is crazy enough. So basically in Haiti, this was told to me in Haiti, Nicaragua, Cuba, whenever you go to such countries like Nigeria for that matter, because there are people who follow your social media. So this guy's on the social media and he's like, hey, I'm in Cape Haitian. I'm at this hotel. I'm supposed to leave to Port-au-Prince, but I can't leave now because I will reach there by the night. So I'm going to leave at like 3 a.m. And apparently he just disclosed everything, his location, everything. And the next thing you know, he's gone missing. And they have asked for a ransom of about $600,000. Well, I hope there you go. They still ask dollars, not Bitcoin. So there is no Bitcoin adoption right there. So that's Haiti for you.
All right, yeah. I think maybe they need a bit of Bitcoin adoption in there as well, don't they? Start
I
learning
mean,
about it.
I mean, Haiti was one country which really taught us humanity as to why Bitcoin is important. This country was the first country to get independence from their masters, from slavery. They were the first one ever in 1801. But when the French were leaving, they left them by leaving a debt. That means they had to pay a debt to the French government because the French government lost all their slave trade. There was a great slave trade happening, right? And now all
Yeah.
the slaves are revolted and they're free. So they lost all the money. So the Haitian government had to pay them money. So that's a big debt. So now they did not have the money to pay. So the French government said, hey, we have a French bank. You can take the money from the French bank. So they take the money from the French bank to pay the French government. That starts a spiral debt, and that's like a double debt. And they was paying and paying and paying and paying. So that led to problems in the country. That led to the involvement of United States, and that led to another debt. And it just led to such a point like they cannot pay. And as I was there in last year in June, the gangs were running the show. The gangs had taken over. And this is what happens is when people don't have money, they turn into violence. And this is true. And they speak this language that's broken, Pigeon, that's their language, a mix of English, French, Creole words. So it is really difficult for a person who just speaks English to go there and communicate and to use Bitcoin and to find people or to share knowledge of Bitcoin if you don't speak their language. Given the poverty is just so high down there, and the Mother Nature hasn't been kind to them either. So all in all, it has suffered from all places, and you just see, and they cannot do anything. You know, they keep printing money to just pay their debts. So the country has just gone down.
A death spiral,
Yep.
basically, out of
Yes, sir.
control. Like what's happening to the West now, in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting totally out of control. Yeah.
Yep. It is. It is.
Okay, so let's bring it back a few years. How did you find
Mhm.
Bitcoin?
Oh, wow. So this is August 21. I am in India in Bangalore where I am currently. I was looking for a job, and my friend Pareen, he worked for an exchange, and I was looking for a job. He didn't get me the job, but it was 26th August. He gave me a call in the middle of the night. It was 12 a.m. It was a full moon night. And he was like, hey, do you want to travel the world? And I was like, yeah. He's like, but you have to travel using Bitcoin. And I was like, I do not know what Bitcoin is. He gave me a book called the Bitcoin Standard. I read that book. And coming from India, where we worship gold and we appreciate gold, and just to see that we are no more backed by the gold standard, that I'm just being fooled around into this spiral of my life that is to work, 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 work. And I was like, oh, this thing is real. And I was like, okay, how does I talk to my friend Parina? I'm like, okay, I understand this, we can do this, but how will the money come? They were like, this is the very strongest community in the world. They will crowdfund you. And randomly, we were just sitting this afternoon and we did 40 countries. We will travel 40 countries in 400 days. And I started sending out DMs. I sent about 1,000 DMs to people on Twitter and LinkedIn. And that's when I understood that Bitcoin is separate and crypto is separate. That's when I understood there is a maximalist mindset. Slowly and gradually, out of those 1,000 people, 55 people talked to me. And out of that 55 people, I came to talk to some couple of coders, couple of Indians, people abroad, like Daniel Prince, you would know with the
Yeah, I know
Begin
Daniel.
podcast.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah. And like this, I started talking to these are the 45, 50 people I would have talked to. And then the journey started. So I stumbled upon this journey because I was looking for something to do in my life and I did not know. And then the Bitcoin standard was just like, I would say Bitcoin standard is equivalent to Ayn Rand. Like the book Ayn Rand that talks about Atlas Shrugged and the Fountainhead back in the 1900s, what a man is, what's the Bible of a man, what a man should do. And the Bitcoin standard proves it that yes, my responsibility towards this world is to follow the Bitcoin standard, at least for my own good. So this is how I entered into this, thanks to my friend Pari.
Okay, that was very interesting. That was an interesting way to get into it. So, when was your first trip out then? You came
uh,
across that in August, and
and
then
September, that right away in 21 days, I think so, August 25th. And September 17th, yeah, 21 days, 22 days, I was out of my house. I started with India and then followed by Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Qatar. So as I was doing these countries, I came to one understanding is like, all right, the West are privileged because this was written in English. It is communicated in English. It is talked in English. The coding is in English. Everything is in English. Thanks to English, the first world countries, Germany, the Czech, the French, the Spanish, they are able to communicate this to their people. But how will this be used in the third world countries? India has 27 constitutional languages. And I wanted to check how they would use it. And yes, people do not have access to information because by the time from English, Bitcoin is converted to your local language, it is really coerced or mixed up with a lot of emotions and a lot of crypto. And then I reached Africa. I did about 18 countries in Africa, and I did about 15 or 17 countries in the Latin American region because I speak Spanish. And that's when I realized, after traveling all around the world, people, it is a game of privilege. If you have money in the pocket, you will get Bitcoin. Yes, you will learn about Bitcoin. Yes, you understand Bitcoin is the store of value. You understand everything. But people need money. They do not have disposable income like the West has. The average salary of a person in Africa is somewhere around $80 to $150, in which they cannot save money. Same goes for the LATAM regions. There's like $250 to $300 is their salary. So
and
yes,
that's per
per
month,
month,
because here
per
we
month.
get paid per week. So let's get that
Yes,
clear.
there we go. So when you have that, you do not have disposable income, even if you understand, yes, you are bound to turn to crypto. And I do not blame those people for crypto at all, because everybody, I call this world like a bush. This world is a bush, like this is the jungle. It's a forest. You have to go for the hunt. You have to go for the kill. So people do this. So what I understood was this is going to happen. There is Bitcoin education. We as Bitcoiners should keep doing this, keep spreading this. And I feel like every person in this world should start seeing their net worth in Bitcoin terms and not in dollar terms. So even if you trade crypto, even if you traded NFTs, whatever you do, I don't care, because if you do not know what that person is going through in his life, but if that person can start just seeing his net worth in Bitcoin terms, that will be very good. So yeah, this is something that I learned. Like, yes, there is languages, but you cannot force people to adopt Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, it's very, very true. You can't. And as we say, like, and I've been learning along my journey, people have the freedom to do whatever they want with their money. If they want to go to the casino and they want to gamble, they can do that. If they want to go to the horse races and just throw thousands of dollars or euros on that, they're free to do that. Yeah.
Yep, it is.
Same as like,
It's a casino. The crypto is a casino.
well, yeah, we know that, but the problem is we only learn that after we've done our homework. And a lot of Bitcoiners, like myself, when I first started on this journey in 2020, I was in there thinking to learn how to trade and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? But thank God I seen the light, and it took something fairly big to happen with Terra Luna for me to really wake up to what's really going on with this. Yeah, and we learned from our mistakes. I'll throw my hands up. I learned from my mistake. I'm trying to train people now and show people so they don't make the same mistake. But a lot of people don't understand that and they don't get it.
No, I feel for making a mistake is a human nature, and we have to go down that road. And given what has happened from 2017 to 2021 to what's happening now, this meme season that has come, and these meme coins have come. And if people have disposable income, they end up playing with this. It's that the people who have disposable income. It's all about the privilege game, right? And people will do this. This is how we learned how to ride a bicycle. This is how we learned how to walk by falling down. And it is the need, it's not the sailors game or the Jack Dorsey's game. It is more about the common man. Yes, it is peer to peer, but that person is trying to make money. There's a difference between saving money and making money. And that distinction is for one to itself, I would say.
Yeah. But as well, me personally, I think Bitcoin has different, will grow and adopt differently in different countries and in different continents. Yeah. With the likes of, say, Africa and Asia and maybe South America, people need to use those Satoshis every day to pay for goods and services.
Yes.
Yeah. For people in the West, it's better for us to maybe use that as a store of value.
Yes, that's how it is. The West uses as a store of value, and the circular economies, which are mostly in the third world countries or in the global south, I would call them, are using it as peer-to-peer cash. And one of the drastic differences in all of this is with hodling, you understand time preference.
Mm-hmm.
But with peer-to-peer, using it as a lightning transaction, you do not understand. Okay, understanding and following it are two different things. Yes, I understand English, but am I speaking? Yes, that's following it, right? I understand Bitcoin. If you hodl, it will grow. But people cannot hodl because they have their obligations for the day.
Yeah.
So this thing of hodling versus using it as a peer-to-peer cash is very used in two different worlds for two different reasons. And now we have the third space called the ordinals. I know the NFT season bombed out, and now they're still back in this season with this. I mean, you can't do anything. Like, this is how Bitcoin ecosystem is.
So let's just talk a little bit about that. Touch on that a little bit, yeah, for our viewers. Explain what ordinals are and like what these meme coins are, because some people mightn't know.
Okay, I would throw in ordinals first because I just learned about it very recently. It's been going over a year. It started in Feb 2023. Thanks to a Taproot update, people can now mint their own NFTs or their images or a text or music, whatever can fit in that 4 MB block. In the block size, that's the max. And they can mint that on a Bitcoin blockchain, which was never possible before. You could leave a text message like Chancellor on the brink of the second bailout, as Satoshi had left it. But now you can have these images and this and all everything. As you can look back in the past, what happened with the NFT season, which was the last year, you saw all of them have busted and 95% of them are not working. Almost out of 75,000 NFT different chains or NFT projects that were there, 69,000 plus have gone out. So you can see that these things has flopped out. The second thing and the Bitcoin community is like from Bitcoin came Bitcoin Cash, then came Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Now from this Bitcoin is come down Bitcoin, the hodling community, came the peer-to-peer cash, the Lightning community, and this ordinal community. So now this is just like a battle of whether it will survive, this narrative will go forward. Only time will tell. Because with the NFTs we saw it didn't work out, as now we can see. Now coming to the meme coins are like Doge coins. like Shiba Inu, like Pepe, or any of these things. Now these are being pumped or minted on a Solana ecosystem on Ethereum base, blah 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 blah. Now anybody can mint these coins. They come with stupid names, like the current one that's going on is called Dog with Hat. I'm not shilling any of these coins. I'm just telling you it's called Dog with Hat. I'm looking at this thing. It's a dog with a hat, and then token is called Much Wow. So it has no purpose. It has nothing. It is just the marketing, and everything is now digital. And they're just marketing it, and people are buying it and selling it. So who has access to the information get in early, and then they go up. By the time the hype is picked up, they are selling it out, and the common man loses the money. If you get in early, you make money. If you get in late, you lose money, but you do not know what's early, what's late, because they all are controlled and printed or owned by a single party, like a single owner who has access to it and who can play with it, who can play with the liquidity and play with the rules, the consensus. It is practically not solving anything. It is, at least blackjack has some consensus rules. At least a poker table has some rules. At least your roulette has some rules. Here there are no rules. So yes, if you love gambling, good luck. Please do. And if you make money in there, please convert it to Bitcoin. That's my advice to you. So these are meme coins for you, which have no purpose. They're just to have fun. Like there is any nonsense that will be created right now in the ecosystem. So yeah, that's
Okay,
how. Yeah.
very good. Very good. Thanks for explaining that anyway. Very
Okay.
good. Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah.
So how did your journey go then?
Um.
Let's talk a little about the journey. What's it called again? Run with
r-
Bitcoin?
Yep. Run with Bitcoin. The journey is called Run with Bitcoin because I love running. I run every morning, and I just enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, I love running. You're running a node that came through, and I was like, okay, if you're running your node, so my thing is like run your node or run your body. It's up to you. You need to take care of your health because your body is your own blockchain. If you don't take care of your body, you cannot live the life further, the longest chain, right? So I was like, it's called it Run with Bitcoin. And the journey was called to travel 40 countries. And I got to travel, I got to meet Bitcoiners in their house. That was a beautiful thing. Rather than meeting these Bitcoiners only on Twitter and LARPing with them and saying hodl, hodl, hodl. I was able to share a meal with these Bitcoiners. And truly, these Bitcoiners, like I really thank them. Like I really thank them. Like I think so I wouldn't be here because of if it was not for the community. I got to see the the real essence of Bitcoin was not just making money or get rich quick scheme. It was more about contributing to the ecosystem, thinking long term, which really taught me to think about 10 years, 20 years. And I just saw how Bitcoin can help Africa for that matter. The everything that we use in our world is right now running with a battery. What are we humans without a battery now? And all these battery comes from Africa, where those people are working for $60 a month and where their country is getting they're printing money, they're getting devalued, like Zimbabwe for that matter. They just went to billions and trillions during 2008 crash. And I was just happy to see how Bitcoin can save them. And if all their resources are getting valued in Bitcoin, now these people will have something called as time, because now their money is not losing value. When their money is not losing value, they can start dreaming. If they can start dreaming, they can start manifesting. You know, it is all what Bitcoin is doing is letting you buy time, which is we have access to it. We are the privileged ones because we have disposable income. These people have not, but finally they can start earning. I mean, saving that $5 on your on-chain wallet doesn't make sense because that UTXO will not be able to be used in the coming future. Like using it on your Lightning, yes, it makes sense, but then Lightning is custodial. So I went through all this fighting of between what is good, custodial, non-custodial. Okay, on-chain, Lightning. And this is like a constant battle within you only. It's like a Mahabharata. This is the very famous book in India, Mahabharata. It's that constant battle within yourself. And as a Bitcoiner, we are having this constant battle within ourselves. How am I bringing goodness into this world? Because it's proof of work. So humanity, yes, gets better, but Bitcoin doesn't fix every problem. Bitcoin is a means to meet the end. Bitcoin is not the end. So this is a journey. I would say it's going to take 25 to 30 years at least for hyper Bitcoinization. And people will not be using Bitcoin. They will be using layer twos, layer threes, Feddies, cashews. They will be using other chains. This on-chain thing will just remain for the people who have money. The common man will not be using that. That's what is going to happen. This is something I see. And I would be happy if I'm wrong, if people use it on chain, but you know how we are moving forward, given that there are just a million coins left to mine.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And another, just to add to that as well, I can see in the future, and probably not too far in the future, that people won't be talking about Bitcoin anymore. They're going to be talking about Satoshis. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
And like I know now at the moment, like what's one Satoshi? 0.0070. Yeah.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like in the near future, like what happens? People are out there buying all these other types of coins and everything for like 50 cent,
True.
$1. You know, for $1 you're
It
getting
is.
about 1,200 Satoshis. People
They're
haven't done
traders.
the mathematics properly
No,
yet.
they're traders. These guys are traders. Like I'm telling you, these
Yeah.
guys are traders. They have, see, I do not blame the traders. See, I come from a part called Karachi. That is
Hmm.
on the Karachi is a city in Pakistan, and Karachi was the biggest seaport in the world. Go if you go back 300, 500 years ago, the biggest one to sustain the Silk Road. Everything used to go through there. And I understand what trading come means. I understand buying low, selling high. I get everything. And I've come to understand like this is all a game of trading. These people understand the every crypto person understands what Bitcoin is. But in here, he's trying to put that food on the table. And in this process, what is happening is he's going to lose out on the Satoshis, and the Satoshis are going to get expensive because the person is just trading in dollar terms. And he's not understanding his dollars are going to get lost. So yes, trading is there and trading is not bad. I wouldn't complain. I would say there is oneness in our ecosystem as humans. I mean, if there is no yin, there is no yang. If there's no black, there's no white. If there's no up, there's no down. If there are no shit coins, Bitcoin is not fun. It's like that. I'm like saying it in a very, it's a collective effort, you know. It's all together that is making all of these things go in the right direction. We are able to talk. You're from Ireland. I'm talking in India right now. Imagine doing this 10 years ago.
Mm.
Like me with an Indian network connection 10 years ago. No. But right now, 10 years later, we are telling we can send money across to each other and we have this equal opportunity. What has happened is this world runs on the skin color. It is very true. Uh, we
It is.
started we started as barbarians. To control our barbarianism, we went to religion. Okay. From that religion, we started doing politics, hence started forming states and nation governments. From these nation governments, that politics took over, that we are finding these free cities or these what do you call these citadels, and we are moving forward from there. So we are growing, evolving as humanity.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think as well, with Bitcoiners as well, there'll be locations around the world where just Bitcoiners go. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not Bitcoiners, just Bitcoiners, but there'll be locations like these citadels, you know, and I'm meeting more people around Bitcoiners that have huge amounts of land, you
Mm.
know, and they're planning different things for like 5, 10 years down the line. Yeah. And as the value of Bitcoin goes up, they'll be able to build these citadels that they're thinking about doing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's happening. It is happening. People are
it is
started
happening.
moving
Yeah,
this
because I know a
secular.
few people that are actually doing it now and they're planning it. Yeah, they bought the sites already, so they own the sites.
There you go.
You know.
It's gonna happen. I feel it's not gonna be. I mean, it's as a Bitcoiner, we have a vision of hyper Bitcoinization, saying Bitcoin is the only currency, but there will be multiple coins around. There will be like 200, 300 different communities. It will be all about communities. And like Bitcoiners, we will be using our coin. I do not know what other communities survive because we do not know how they work out. But technology is improving. Humans are still deteriorating in their mental health and their physical health. So we do not know what comes through. But as we move forward, a citadel will be our way out because you would think about you and your family and your friends rather than thinking about your country. So that mindset change will happen in the next 20 to 25 years because the generation would change.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And going back to a point there about you said it's going to be maybe all different types of cryptocurrencies out there. Like people don't realize. Well, look at in the world. There's so many different currencies already in the world. Yeah, we're moving into a new era now, a digital world. Yeah, we're leaving the 21st to 20th century. We're in the 21st century. The money's changing. A lot of people still don't understand that. And even people that I know here that are quite wealthy and have done very well,
Hmm.
things are going to change for them though. Because they won't take the time to learn about Bitcoin and they don't even understand that the money in their bank account is getting devalued.
That's very true. They haven't gotten time to figure out what the problem is. Before, one father used to have one job and have three children. And now our generation, that's my generation that's coming, or the next one that's coming, we need to have two or three jobs to afford one child. So we do not have time. And I just felt like it is all about that time is not there for a person to look into it because he's just caught up in that rat race and the inflation and the devaluation. This is why Africa hasn't picked up, it's just because of inflation and devaluation. So they're getting cut out from the both the sides. And then they just turn up to God and just hope like God will come and God will save them.
Yeah,
And I
and that's
don't
what it
blame
is.
them.
Like, yeah, yeah. A lot of people just look at religion and they think, oh, that's going to save me because that's what my parents told me. You know what I mean? And that ain't working this time, you know?
I mean, God is God. God is the creator of all, whatever you may call it, the God, the universe,
Yeah.
whatever it is, whatever is there. But in this, we are privileged ones right now. And I think so, us as Bitcoiners, it's our responsibility to hodl and when the time is right to share. Because if these are the same Bitcoiners who hodled a lot and then they shared their Bitcoin to make it a circular economy. Circular economies don't happen like this. They cost a lot of money. They are like an NGO. And that's like a constant effort of just giving, like Bitcoin Beach, the Guatemala. So in circular economies, have you talked to anybody from the circular economies?
I've been talking to the people in El Salvador,
Huh?
in Berlin, in El Salvador. Uh, Charlie Stevens, that was over at our Bitcoin event in Ireland last year. He spoke. He's actually down in El Salvador, and they're setting up a circular economy in Berlin, in El Salvador.
Nice. That cool. I met that guy. I went to Berlin. So Berlin is a nice
Okay,
community.
the guy
So
with the ponytail, yeah, Charlie.
yeah. The natural investor guy,
Yeah,
whatever
the
his
natural
name.
investor. Yeah, Charlie, he's a good
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happened is thanks to Bitcoin Beach, a lot of people have gotten inspired and they've picked up this project. So it started from Bitcoin Beach. We moved over to Berlin. In Guatemala, it's happening. There's called Bitcoin Lake. They have like two, three communities, Bitcoin Antigua. It's happening in Costa Rica. It's happening in Honduras. It's happening in Peru. Peru, if you can get somebody to talk about Peru, it will really show to you what peer-to-peer cash transaction mean, where people are like at 3,000 meters of altitude, 3 hours away from a capital city, and they are using Bitcoin. These are the underprivileged people, and they are using Bitcoin. Brazil is happening. South Africa, Kenya picked up. Uganda picked up. Ghana is there. Vietnam picked up. Philippines they started, but Philippines failed. So yes, yeah, if there are people using this, and I got to visit these communities and to see how I can live on a Bitcoin standard, and I was really happy to see this is happening. But there is something that is I've learned is in Bitcoin there are two parties, peer to peer, right? Willing to give and willing to receive. Now in these circular economies, there is willing to receive. There are 30, 50, 100 businesses accepting Bitcoin, but there are nobody willing to give. People are not ready to spend their Bitcoin. So what is happening is communities are not growing at that pace because people are not selling their Bitcoin. Because 6 months ago, Bitcoin in October was $24,000. 6 months later, today we are at $72,000. That's a 3x. Like
Hmm.
people are ready, like to or double 200% profit, 300%, whatever it is. But it's just like
Yeah.
so people are happy to save their Bitcoin. So most of these communities are running like an NGO. That means there is this rich Bitcoiner who really wants circular economies and he's supporting it. So we will do this, you and me, whoever are part of this bull run in 21, then the 24, then the 27, 30, whatever comes. It we will be the reason for the more circular economies. It's our responsibility to share our Bitcoin and not be like a sailor for that matter who says, I will take Bitcoin to the grave.
But that being said, as well, I was talking to Eric V there about a week and a half ago, and a very good point that he made was people that actually hodl as well, yeah, are actually uh are bringing value to Bitcoin as well, right? Because
Yeah,
if we started putting all our coins into the economy as well, maybe it wouldn't be as valuable. You know, I mean, there's only about
100% true.
1.6, 1.8 million coins on these exchanges. That's what the price is being worked around. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if there was 15 million coins on the exchanges, would the price be the same? Yeah. So as
yeah,
you said, maybe in the future, when the
yeah,
value of our coins go up, we'll start doing things as well. And we'll start be doing the things that people were doing like a
yes,
year or two ago. Yeah.
yeah,
So the cycle just
100%.
keeps on moving. Yeah.
Exactly. This is how it's us pushing us. It's just us taking care of us, and that's how humanity is. There's a very nice saying in Peru. It says, "Hoy por ti, mañana por mí." It says, "Today for you, tomorrow for me." That's how they work. They like to help people, and then they think about themselves. Bitcoin has reversed this. Bitcoin is like, okay, let me think about myself first, but tomorrow I promise, and this promise is like stamped promise, like I will take care of you. And this is the reason these Bitcoiners supported me. Otherwise, Bitcoiners know how to hodl. Why would they support? Like if you look at Geyser Fund, have you talked to people from Geyser Fund, where
Yeah, I was
this
talking,
they're
I interviewed him there last year as well. Yeah.
yeah. So the
The
Geyser Fund,
Mike, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Mick.
You look at that platform over the last 2 years, 2.5 years, they have raised over 25 coins. So these are people who are letting it go. So this is amazing. We are on the right track, I would say. I wouldn't complain anything about the Bitcoin. I would just say like the maximalism thing is that toxicity reflects in your energy. That energy gets transferred even without words. So we need to just see that we invite people with love and not just saying the world is going to end. The world is not ending. If the world was the person who printed money in 1971, he's dead. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure. 50 years
Yeah,
ago.
well, you did the guy that the guy that took the money
Yeah.
off the gold standard, is it?
Is he dead?
Nixon,
Yeah.
yeah, President Nixon, that
Yeah.
was, yeah,
He's
1971. He's
dead.
gone.
But the world is still running.
Of course,
Yeah.
the world still keeps on running. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. We just evolve. Humans just evolve, don't we?
Yeah. So our sales pitch should be like, come, let's enjoy the time together. Let's buy time rather than the world is ending. There is carbon footprints. Your kids will have no future. I'm like, you cannot tell that to an 18-year-old child who has just finished his school and he's taken a loan.
But that's all
And
fear, though. That's
yeah,
fear being
and
driven
that,
into people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And a lot of people get sucked into that fear. I'm kind of lucky. I've got an open mind. And even in 2019 and 2020, we had data coming in 2019 that something was going to happen. We've got a data company as well. And I started
mhm,
watching stuff and people started sending me stuff. And I saying like, what's going on here? Right. And then in February, March, bang, Ireland got closed down. We were the first
yeah,
country and America closed the country down, no flights into the country. And I said, I can't believe this. These are going to pull something off, and this is what they're doing. They're closing everything down. And then I started learning more and more. And that's when I really started learning about the macro stuff, and I could see what was coming. Other people thought, "Ah, you're mad." You know what I mean? With lockdowns, with this, with that, with mandates, everything. So we were prepared. You know what I mean? I just didn't listen. None of that made me fearful when they started announcing it because I knew probably 3 months before it what was coming kind of
wow.
coming.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
yeah.
amazing. Like you had data. That's amazing. And for us, man, like I see this and I wasn't just in the United States and I just met some Bitcoiners who were really boasting about how they got $3,500 per month and they were buying Bitcoin with it. And they got that money for a year. And that is insane, man. Like in our country, we were not getting anything and you were just getting $3,500 of free money. And like, I was just like, we just got that the third world or the south, I mean, the global south just got pushed back a lot. And you were prepared for it because you had access to information. We were just forced down that and we were just told to take those vaccines. Like I was supposed to take down the vaccine. Like I did not know that this is all a propaganda. I did not know this is all happening. And I was like, okay, this is the right thing. And now you, as a Bitcoiner, what happens is that matrix,
Yeah.
the pill. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
kudos
it.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we had the data and I started looking in, I started looking at all these things that they were proposing to give us and the ingredients and everything. I says, no way. Are you mad? And thank God as well, my partner Laura, she was on the same wavelength as well as myself. But that being said, most of my family and friends, unfortunately, they went down that road. You know what I mean? They wouldn't listen. They didn't want to look at something else. You know what I mean? And I had it there. I wanted to show them. I was sending them stuff and they were saying, ah, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I don't think it was wrong, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's life though, isn't it?
It is crazy life. And we are blessed that we can just buy time for us and our children.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Having some
Yeah, man.
time. And like my life has all completely changed as well in the last couple of years. As I said, I was involved in special events very heavily. Uh, and now
Which was the
I
biggest
work
event you
on,
did?
we done all the big events in Ireland. So I would
Which
have done maybe all the rock concerts, all the big festivals. I would have had managing events with like 65,000 people a day going to it in one day. And we would
wow.
be building the whole thing. We'd be doing production, we'd be doing concession management, all this trade stands. You know, you go up to big events, festivals, and they could be like 250 traders there. Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
managing all that, you know?
And you just
So
quit all that now.
yeah, yeah, I exited out of that
And you have a lot
because
of
we have an
time.
online business now and spending more time with our family and want to start traveling.
Proof of work. You are an example of proof of work. You
That's
worked and
it.
you got rewarded. That's beautiful. That's how the world should be. But this degenerate generation that's coming with these meme coins are not working. I'm just gonna tell you what's happening. These people have not worked. They make money from meme coins and they will keep getting rich. There is nothing happening. This still goes on and they will keep doing it. What our generation is done with that work, that culture is slowly and slowly dwindling away. It's just going away. There's no more work ethics. The
Mm,
ethics things is just disappearing away. Everything is digital. We were forced to wear masks. We use our AirPods. Now we are going to use our goggles, that thing. We have
yeah.
taken away three senses away as a human. The last two are your taste and your touch. I don't
Hmm.
know when that disappear. When do we start eating digital potatoes?
They have it all made already. That's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you'll be
Like,
going to a screen soon and you'll be pressing the button and this thing will pop out.
yeah.
You know what I
And,
mean?
I just saw this, like the Pringles, the most famous chips Pringles is not even potato. It's not even real potato.
Yeah,
And I was just surprised. I'm like, what shit are we eating? And this is how we enjoy it. So it's all about using that taste bud. It's all about the taste. We eat the food for the taste, and they're just attacking our taste. And
yeah,
people are similar. The meme coiners also the same people. They just want that money. That's it. That's it. They're
yeah,
just using it. They're not seeing what's going in your stomach or what's going in your mind or what you're doing with your time. That all is gone. It is all about how can I make money? How can I make money? It's
yeah.
changed. Yeah.
But that's the fiat system, isn't it? How do I
Yep.
make more from than the other person? How do I keep somebody else down? How do I get one over on somebody? But
Yeah.
that's the whole fiat system. And just going back to that thing about the food that we eat. When you walk into a
Yeah.
supermarket, a shopping center, yeah, and you're going to do your groceries, there's only a small section that's healthy food. What's everything else?
Cheap, cheap food, cheap food,
Processed.
processed. That's it.
It's
Cheap
not
food.
it's not even cheap anymore. That's the thing. It's not even cheap. The prices are going up and up and up. Yeah, that's because the value of our dollars and our euros and our rupees and everything's going down, down, down.
Mhm.
But people
Yep.
aren't copping onto that. And the governments and the policymakers around us are saying, blame Jack on the shop, blame him in the petrol station, blame him. But the real thing is blame them because they're the ones that are printing the money. And
They will not stop. Nothing will stop them. Like, brother, I come from India, all right? In India, we have this Alfonso mangoes. It comes from our own country. It comes from just like 300 kilometers down the road. You know how much was the box price today? And it is India. Just imagine what will be in Ireland or in England or whatever. For 12 mangoes, that's one carton. For 12 mangoes, they were asking me $25. But just for 12 mangoes. This is India. It comes from India. Tell me, what's gonna come to you guys?
Madness, isn't it?
Like, like I walk in as an Indian to just say, I can't afford that. Yeah,
Something
this is
that,
happening.
something that's grown, you know, from the what. Now I know there's a lot of work involved in it and all that, but it comes from nature. Yeah, the nature produces it.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. It's intense. Like such is life. And this is where
yeah.
we are. Imagine what's going to happen with us. And then this has led to a point where they say, don't make children. What world would you bring your children into? And it just messes with your head. You just don't feel like living. You just don't feel there is abundance in the world. So this fiat standard, this what has happened, it has destroyed everything. These last 50, 60 years has destroyed everything. Nothing was bad before that. Our parents were happy. They made
We
seven,
were
eight
all happier.
children.
Yeah,
They made seven, eight children. Being a
one
mammoth.
job, one job, one person working. You could have a house. You know what I mean? You'd be going out the weekends. Now you mightn't have foreign holidays, but that's because aeroplanes and all weren't as abundant and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: as we develop in technology, things should be getting easier.
Yeah.
But it's not. Things are getting harder for people. A lot of
It's
people
so
don't
deep.
even take the time to figure that out. I
Yeah.
didn't for a long time. I didn't know what was going on because I was so busy driving here, setting up this event, going to this event. My phone ringing about 120 times a day. You're constantly on the phone. You don't have time. And I don't blame people really, but there's so much information out there now. And actually, we did have fucking time because in 2020, they closed down the world and everybody was sitting at home. But most people decided to bleed and start drinking and having parties and enjoying themselves and getting free money. And it made people weak. That's what it done.
Very true.
So I started learning and it changed
Yeah.
my life.
You took time out and you said, how do I utilize my time? That was so tough, man. Like India was really tough. And people, man, it's so easy. Like we do not even have a time span of like, sorry, an attention of like a cat. Like we are just like, anything we are watching is like those screens, reels, TikToks, and we just like
Hmm.
30 seconds. So yeah, I am really grateful that it happened. And it was just like the movie, The V for Vendetta. I had never seen that movie. Have you seen V for Vendetta?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh my God, brother. I saw that movie last May.
Spell that again. What it's called? V.
V, V for
V.
Vendetta. Yeah, V for
Oh,
Vendetta.
V for Vendetta. Vendetta.
Vendetta. Yep, yep, yep. Sorry. Dude, that thing is what it was 2006. And that movie is about coronavirus.
Hmm.
In 2006, they released a video with this movie on coronavirus. You should see this one. You will be mind blown. You'll be like, oh my God, why didn't I watch this earlier?
You know, you should go and watch.
Which
In
one?
2019, I watched Event 201.
Was it's a
Event,
movie? Okay.
Event, EVENT 201,
Okay.
2021. That's what it's called.
Oh,
It's a documentary that was done, right? A simulation if a pandemic hit the world. And that was shown in October of 2019. Sorry, 2019. But it's called Event 201.
wow. Okay.
So it was a simulation that they done if a pandemic hit the world, how would they do it? Sure, all these big organizations sponsored it.
Event 201. All right, taking it down.
It's on
Perfect. Great.
YouTube.
Okay, event 201. Amazing. There we go. We have exchanged something to watch for each other.
Happy days. Happy days.
Nice, nice.
So what's your plan then? Where are you going next? How's your journeys looking?
My journey ended on December, and then I've been home. I am gonna do a month of yoga. I'm just gonna chill out, and I'm looking for a job on me. And I'm in the meanwhile, I'm writing my book also because I would really like to share the fun stories of how travel is, because the current generation wants to travel and there is easy access of traveling. And I really want to have that travel aspect alive, but have a story from each country, which has this subtle hints of what is saving, what is time, what is Bitcoin, with the subtle hints, which really makes that fun, really book a good book for 13 to 16-year-olds, because these are the young kids, catch them young, as they say, who would want to travel the world, and they watch TikTok, and then they really understand what Bitcoin is through that book. Like not a really spiritual book, or not really like facts like Broken Money from Lynn Alden, but more about just like a memoir of a traveler who just traveled around and just really saw, yes, Bitcoin really helps you get that equal opportunity in this world. Why don't you look into it? And if not, at least travel for your soul. I really advise everybody straight up is like, first be a traveler, figure out who you are, or make your enough money to buy Bitcoin. Like, understand, study yourself, then study Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin, or work hard, make money, buy Bitcoin. Like, whatever it is, just work on yourself. And Bitcoin is that learning. And then you understand the fiat standard, the Bitcoin standard, the fiat food, the sun rays, then blah, blah, blah. And then it's just a whole new world. So this is what I'm up to on that book as of now.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Amazing.
man.
Very good. So you're grounded for the time being, are you? You're
Yep,
staying
man.
put in
Yep,
India.
yep, yep. I need to be. I would be coming down to the European conference, Prague. I have still some old content that I'm releasing on my YouTube channel. So throughout this entire journey, I was making these YouTube videos from each country. So far, I've released about videos of almost 31 countries, another 9 countries to go. So I'm releasing that video every week, every week. So I think so in another 4 or 5 months, those videos should be all out and I would be done. So what happens is all the 41 countries now have access to that information. If anybody is looking for a Bitcoiner in Dominican Republic or in Nigeria or in Cambodia, they have a video to look back at because there is video content, then there is digital content like Twitter, Reddit, for that matter, Instagram. And now the book is there. You can read plenty of books. I guess there were like in Madeira, I just saw like there were like 40, 45 books, right? Like
Mental.
they were
There was
like,
loads at the bookstore there was amazing, wasn't it?
I was just like, there's
Okay.
just so many information. But this generation does not have time. They don't have attention. They just want to swipe. So I'm hoping we can just keep sharing this knowledge through whatever you do, like your podcasts. It's just another way of people to just learn. And we need to, we are, the Bitcoiners are just like the sun. It's our job to keep shining. Come rain, come clouds, come whatever. It's our job. It's our responsibility. As a Bitcoiner, this is our first responsibility to share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Share the love and share the
yeah, man.
knowledge. And then it
Yes.
gives people hope, doesn't it?
And
And
it keeps you humble.
we have our insurance now because Bitcoin is our insurance for what's
Yes,
coming. Yeah.
true.
Let's talk a little bit what you think as well is coming from your knowledge. Yeah. With a changing world. Yeah. And I know things are different in different continents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's big changes where we can see coming to Europe with a lot of rules and regulations and maybe these digital IDs and CBDCs. What do you think about all this?
This is coming. Um, there is gonna be a great what I see coming is there is gonna be a lot of authoritarian, like a dictatorship coming through, because the man's biggest friend is and biggest enemy is his ego. And the ego comes as he keeps growing. It's like a lawyer. A lawyer keeps fighting one case, he gets better. He gets older, he gets better, he gets ego. And then he stands in front of the judge with authority and he says, I am right. So this is how the our all the nations will go towards. There will be authoritarian regimes who will be fighting to keep that land and keep that country together. And this all will just disperse because socialism failed because there was no technology. Now, because of the blockchain, socialism will succeed because now there is all this tech available with you to use. So we will be using all this technology to moving forward. And thanks to internet, thanks to Bitcoin, we all are equal. Now it doesn't matter you're a black, white, brown, you're a Hindu, Muslim, Christian. You're just an equal person who will be sharing something that is valuable to that person. So as we go forward, yes, I feel in the next 25, 30 years, it's going to be blood on the streets, I feel. It won't be an easy thing. Nobody lets go away of their power. As a father in the house who has this power over his children and has to maintain his power till the children grow up and then the children leave the house. So as of now, the children are growing up. There is this thing of freedom, the libertarian. And finally, we have a resource like Bitcoin to use it. So yes, the CBDCs will come, they will control us, they will try to do everything. But with this technology of internet and all, we would move forward. We would be able to move this forward and the citadels will come. And but I'm seeing this in like 25, 50 years, man. It's not like a 3-year job, 5-year job. In like 5, 10 years, yes, these guys will come with CBDCs for sure. It has to come. It's the tech way forward. In India, we use UPI. That means we can send any money to anyone instantly, even if as low as 1 cent. So that is already happening. It is practically digital e-rupee we are using. So you cannot fight it. All you can do is preserve yourself, your friends, and your family. This is what I think.
Yeah, yeah. I do believe that things like that are coming, but I think they're coming sooner than most people think.
Yeah.
Not 25 or 30 years, pal.
Okay. No, how early, how faster?
Well, from what I can see, CBDCs are going to be here by the end of 2025, 2026 in Europe. The Bank of International Settlements that controls like all the money there. So the Bank of International, so how it works is your local bank, then you have your central bank in your country, then you have like the IMF and the World Bank, and then on top of that, there's a thing called the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. They control the fiat system, the monetary system. They wrote a white paper in 2022 saying that every central bank in the world has to have a fully functional CBDC by the 1st of January 2025. The 1st of
Fair.
January 2025. So if they have all the CBDs implemented by then, they're not going to wait 10 years to implement them. They're going to start rolling it out. And
So if this is going to happen, then how does it affects tourism? I see tourists coming in. So we as a tourist will be bound to use your CBDC. That means we will be bound to get registered on your system. Or
everybody's
because
going to get dragged into it some way or another. I just think Bitcoiners will have a little bit of hope to do other things, because going forward, it won't happen straight away. But if they want, or if there's a regime change in a country, they can start playing around with the programmable money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, things
Okay,
might be
that's
okay now, but in 3 years' time, there could be a different government in, and you know how governments change every 4 years. They don't last. Yeah.
they don't last. That's so true. Unless it's an authoritative government like
Yeah,
China,
unless you're in
Russia,
a
India now.
dictatorship or something like that, But there's a lot of
The,
countries like that. People be
the Brady,
surprised how many countries out of all the countries in the world, yeah, probably 33% of them are like that, if not more. The
true.
truth be known, yeah. Or, or,
Ve-
or or maybe there's only 33% that people think they have freedom in. The rest of them are like that.
Very true. It is true. I see that. I see that in the Arabs, see that in the African countries, see that in
See,
my
all of
country also.
Africa. Do you think any of the African countries are like Europe?
No,
Not like that.
no, none
Asian
of them.
countries, maybe one or two, maybe
But that
Singapore,
that
maybe or something
but
like
that
that.
but Thailand is also a dictatorship. Cambodia is sold off to the Chinese. So yes, we are, and China owns pretty much everything.
Yeah. So when you
Yep.
spin it around, it's probably 33% that have somewhat of freedom. The rest of them are all locked down. And that's getting
Oh,
closer, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, especially with these CBDCs and digital IDs and programmable money and everything coming. It's just going to make governments easier to control their people. That's why it's important for people to start learning about this for our kids, for our grandchildren. Yeah. Because once they start programming this money in the future, probably not, as we said, not straight away, who's to say that you can only get one flight a year because of your carbon credits?
yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's going to
It
happen.
is gonna happen. It is gonna so much happen. They are doing it. Everybody's gonna have this carbon credit score. I do not know how we tackle this. I think so. We as Bitcoiners will come up with some great solutions, which we have always come out. We were the ones who stopped for the big blocks. Then now we are moving towards there. So I think so. We will find a solution. I mean, the next generation will come. It is our responsibility to preserve that Bitcoin for them. So at least they have some firepower to fight what's coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. So, uh, you're staying put for the time being. Yeah. That's what you're
Yep.
doing. Yeah. You're
Mhm.
going to get a job, stay local. Did you
Yep.
say you're
Yep.
going to try and go to Prague, maybe? Did you?
Yep. Yep. I'm trying to go for that. And yeah, just do Prague and then just be back home. Just figure out, get on with my normal life. Enough of traveling around. There
Yeah.
is no, I was like, I had to share, it was called the Bitcoin experiment to share with the people what Bitcoin is. It just is a story that people can share in conversations with themselves. Like, yes, Bitcoin is used in this country. Yes, and that leads to positive reinforcement of whatever they have learned. So yeah, that's the plan for now. And let's see what future holds.
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant, Paco. So if people want to get in touch with you and they want to check out your journey, how do they find you online?
Um, I on Twitter, I'm called Run with Bitcoin. And on YouTube, it's called Paco de la India, which really means Paco from India. And yeah, these two are my search. If you use Noster, yeah, I have an NPub, but I cannot tell you it's a long NPub. So
Yeah.
Noster, you will find me with Paco, and I would be there. And yeah, these are the platforms that are there. I'm happy. My DMs are always open. If you have any questions, any doubts, I'll be happy to just connect people. I like connecting Bitcoiners to other Bitcoiners if I can connect. So at least in 41 countries, I can. So happy to help Bitcoiners connect Bitcoiners. And yeah, go meet Bitcoiners in real life. That would be nice to just meet your own tribe member.
Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? Go to an
Yeah,
event, go and meet people, go to a local meetup, yeah,
yeah,
and start
yeah,
reaching out and meeting Bitcoiners in your local area. Yeah,
yeah. When
perfect.
when is when is your conference happening? When is the one you're happening in?
It's on the 25th of May,
Oh wow,
just
congratulations.
before Prague. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow, 25th of May is coinciding with there's one happening in Arnhem. It's in Netherlands. It's in Netherlands, there's a village or a city called Arnhem, and they were
Okay.
apparently the first circular economy, and they are doing it on the 25th FI.
All right. Okay. They're doing the same date. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. I won't be able to make that. I'll be at our own event.
Yeah.
Can't be in
I'm,
two places at one time unless you cut me in
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Unless I zoom in.
Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, no thanks.
Mm.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so thanks for your time. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we will talk again. And thanks for sharing your amazing story.
Thank you,
Paco,
man. Thank you
out.
so much. Blessings. Namaste to you. Thank you.
Thank you.